this thing off with this coffee.
Great.
So I listened to 5 pronunciations when I was making the coffee. Kawaha.
Kahawa.
I have
It reads Kahawa, but I don't.
So hold on. Let me pull it up on my phone so the audience can hear the pronunciation I heard.
Kahawa.
All right. Kahawa is...
Kiowa.
Now you're messing me up, dude.
Sorry.
Kahawa means coffee in Swahili, our language. And 1893 is when our story began. While coffee's origin can be traced back to the ancient forest of Ethiopia, coffee had to travel around the world before it made its way back to Africa in 1893. This particular Kahawa blend is the Safari Blend medium roast, and you should be tasting hints or notes of caramel and milk chocolate.
I'm not getting the milk chocolate, but I'm definitely getting some caramel.
Yeah, I haven't tried it. But they have a whole... I'm not going to read it all because I'm a terrible reader, especially in the public.
Getting notes of sarcasm and mispronunciation.
Yeah, that's
Delicious.
right. That sounds good.
Yeah.
But it sounds like they have a super cool story on the back. And I'm sure they have more online. You can find them at Kahawa 1893 on Instagram. And they don't have their website. Oh, they do. Kahawa1893.com. So check them out. Unless we come to the end of the show and we rate it like a 4, then you might not want to check it out. But if we give it a good review, then
I like it. I mean, so far so good. I'm not too jittery or anything, and I've already had coffee, which is great.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Yeah, really, I mean, I'm vibing with it.
Yeah.
I was thinking about this the other day. I'm a connoisseur of coffee, but I'm not like I have a spreadsheet or I have any type of like, okay, this is a 1 out of 10, or this is a 9 out of 10, and but I have my brands. Like I've been a fan of Black and White counterculture for years. Yeah. But there's other brands that I haven't tried yet, and I actually, this is crazy. I'm just gonna
go right in there.
I have a client who shall remain nameless, but this person is an airline pilot, and they go to different countries and bring me back coffee.
No
way.
Countries.
Yes.
What's the best country you've had?
So far, Costa Rica.
Okay.
I can't remember the brand right now off the top of my head, but Costa Rica had great coffee. Some other South American countries also provided some coffee that like this person brought it back, and I don't know. Some of it was kind of weak. Some was like really bold taste, but just no caffeine. It's like I need that. Like I need to live. Yeah. So far, Costa Rica has the taste and the caffeine.
Let's go.
The 1-2 punch.
Yeah.
So anyway, I'll see where he's going next, because I can just ask, this person, like, hey, can you bring me something from?
That's pretty dope.
Africa or wherever.
How do you take your coffee in the morning?
Most of the time black, sometimes splash of almond milk or creamer. Yeah.
And how do you make it?
So we have a pour over machine.
Okay.
It's kind of cheating. It emulates the idea.
Them,
you know what I mean? They look like a pour over.
Yeah.
And the way it drips over it is like a pour over. But is it a pour over? No, it's not. Okay. I prefer a pour over. Right. But the machine does a good job. We've had that machine for maybe 6 years.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
From start to finish, how long does it take to make? Because it was make like machine, four cups of coffee.
It'll make like up to 8. I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's nice.
We usually do 6 or 7.
Okay.
As the kids, the kids, I'm like, that much older. We'll do about 7 cups. In the morning. And then between my wife and I. Yeah. And then it's either like we're fighting for the last drop, or I'm out the door. Right. Or she's out the door first. And then, but it takes probably 8 minutes, 10 minutes to make.
Okay, that's not bad.
It's a slow machine.
Yeah, but it's good. Yeah, it's better than like a Keurig or something.
Yeah, it's not a Keurig. We have a real pour over, like a whole setup. Yeah. And my wife's tried to get rid of it maybe 10 times. Like she's like, let's just get rid of it. I'm like, no, I like this.
The Chemex brand?
Yes, it's Chemex. And I'm like, we're gonna do a pour over one Saturday. It's gonna be raining.
Yeah, it's gonna be
nice. The kids are gonna be really chill. Yeah. And we're gonna want to do a pour over.
And this conversation was 5 years ago.
That was 5 years ago, and we're still trying to get rid of it, but we haven't done it yet.
That's all right. And for those of you listening and not watching, Steven is the best dressed I've ever had on the show, so nice.
I'm on my way to a job interview. Not another job, but it's a listing appointment. Right. So in our field in real estate, you know, you gotta treat everything like a job interview. Yeah. And it's kind of my MO. I dress up for closings and I dress up for first impressions.
I like it.
Showings, maybe not.
Yeah.
Depends on the day and who I'm talking to.
But you're not underdressed for a show. I've seen you we've run into each other at a showing with our separate buyers.
I don't know if I was wearing a suit that day.
No.
Usually not.
But you look nice. Like, you look good. Like,
I
I think you had a dress shirt on and stuff.
That's right.
So, yeah. It's not like you were showing up in, like, sweatpants and a t-shirt.
I call it the Raleigh uniform, right? The golf shirt, the khakis, the
I got on. I got my loafs on, too.
I'm doing the thing. Today I've got my, my leather shoes on, but... yeah, I mean, I know this person. It's not like this person came off Zillow and was like, hey, I want to list my house.
Right.
That rarely happens. But no, this person is a friend of mine, but again, every opportunity to get in front of a client.
Yeah.
And this is me trying to win the business again.
Yeah.
For a potential listing.
I like it.
So, yeah.
Does it depend on the price point?
No.
Same if it's 250
or
250, 2.5 million.
2.5 exactly. There
Interesting.
You go.
Has this approach, like, have you always had this approach, or is this something you've established over the years?
I want to say I have always had this approach.
Really?
Because early in my career, I had a really great mentor, and I'll say his name, John Bunn. Great guy. He still works in our field. He's still in real estate. He owns another brokerage that I was a member of for a long time. Loved working there. But when I first got started in the field, it was kind of right place, right time. He was working in the co-working space. He needed some assistance, kind of getting used to the area, updating his marketing materials. He just relocated to the area from another spot in the country. And I grew up here in Raleigh. And so I offered some help just from like a graphic design standpoint, because I have a little bit of a background in that. Not a tremendous amount. It's not like a credentialed, like, I'm a graphic designer. I basically taught myself how to use Adobe Illustrator and InDesign, and I ran with it. Wasn't great at it, but I could get by. Right? Yeah. And so I helped him kind of adapt his marketing materials to the area. And then in exchange, he said, hey, I'll offer you some free coaching, free advice. And so he one of his, I guess, tidbits of wisdom was like, you want to treat every opportunity as if it's your first opportunity, but also as if it's a job opportunity. And I'm a little bit more of a formal person. Yeah. You probably, see me in and out of the office, but I try to, stick to what I know and what I appreciate and kind of what I expect from other people too. And so when it comes to just like dressing the part, right? I want to show up and dress the part. Yeah. There's a day and a time for sweatpants and a t-shirt. There's a client for sweatpants and a t-shirt, right? But and there's nothing wrong with it if that's your flow. Yeah. For me, it's you're most likely going to see me in a suit and tie, or you're going to see me in like a collared shirt. But gotcha. You might see me if I'm in between like kid activities. Where, t-shirt, hat, all that fun stuff. And that's just who I am. Yeah. So,
I like that. What year did you start?
What year did I start? 2015.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Well, technically 2016.
Okay. Still a decade plus.
Yeah. Like 2015 is when I left my corporate job. Okay. And then, so I got married. Wait, am I saying that right? I got married in 2015, and then I left my corporate job in like early 2016. Okay. So really 2016 is when I got started. I got licensed in 2016. I started working for a brokerage doing their marketing in 2016, and then started full-time selling at the end of 2016. So a lot happened in 2016. Yeah, that's our first year of marriage. We were broke. We were of course. Like trying to figure each other out. Yeah. And been married. It'll be 11 years this October.
Oh, congrats, man.
Excited. But 2016 was the year. This is my renaissance.
Yeah, dude, that's dope. So from 2016 until now, for the last for the last decade, what would you say was the biggest turning point in your career?
From 2016 to now, biggest turning point.
Was there like a moment that you were like, I think I got it?
Oh, like I'm good at this? Yeah. Oh man, I feel like it was right away.
Really?
Yeah, I think I was really nervous starting out. I don't tell this story often, but I should tell it more often. My first client, I fired my first client ever. Like I got him off Zillow, and there was just so many bad red flags about this person. And I'm not going to go into details. Obviously, they are who they are, and I can't change that. But man, there were so many red flags, and I was just so desperate, so desperate for a commission check, because
Yeah,
I was
of
like, I
course.
don't have any money.
Yeah, married.
I just got married. I was in debt. I got a credit card, and I created my LLC, and I had like $5,000 in debt
Really?
for this business that I was starting, and I was like, it's good debt. It's good debt. Like I gotta spend money to make money. Like I can do this, and I'm buying leads online, and I get one, and it's bad, but it's like I'm just gonna go for it.
Yeah.
And this person, the straw that broke the camel's back for them was that they were just not a kind person.
Okay.
And I'm gonna stop short of like going into detail there, because there was a lot of like violations, I think, like legal violations that they made, if that makes sense, based on their personality and like the words they were saying about their neighbors, if you catch my drift. And so it really treaded into like fair housing territory, and I felt morally compelled to let them go.
Yeah.
But like it was that plus, it was in the same day, that plus they fell through the ceiling. They were in the attic, and I told them not to go in the attic, and they fell through the ceiling of this listing. Like this guy's legs were like sticking out of the ceiling. It was wild.
That's crazy.
And he got so angry, and he said he was going to sue me and I was like, just this green agent. I had no idea what to do. And I went back to my desk, or like, the co-working space the next morning at like crack of dawn. And I whip out my computer, and I'm like, I got to like maintain composure. I got to get this together. And I just broke down. And I broke down, and I'm like, I can't do this job. I was like, this is hard. I didn't realize that I have to manage expectations. Like, oh my, there's so many things I got to deal with. And I was like, I can't do this. And I had a teacher walk in kind of early too, like someone who taught pre-licensing. She no longer lives in North Carolina, but she still teaches online. And every time I see her teach a CE course, I just sign up for it. But she sat right in front of me. She just said, Steven, she said, I'm proud of you. You can do this. This is not impossible work. She's like, dust yourself off, get up, and keep going. And I was like, man, that's good. And it was probably that same week that my then mentor, John, came in and needed that help. And he started giving me life lessons, coaching, and I was like, man, this is good. But so this was like all in the first couple months.
That's crazy.
This is like a massive turning point for me, was right at the beginning, where I thought I can do this. And then I just started selling them.
Yeah.
So houses started, like clients started coming to me thinking, hey, let's give this guy a shot.
Yeah.
And my first year I sold 12 properties.
Oh, wow.
And it was life-changing.
Yeah.
I was like, man, this is actually something I can do. And I think I'm pretty good at this stuff.
Yeah.
And so I kind of just like went from there.
Oh, that's awesome, dude.
Yeah.
What a story, man.
It was so cool. Like, it was almost like a true like trial by fire story versus like, I did it for 5 years. Everything was fine. And then like one day I woke up and something happened.
Yeah.
This was like, oh, out the gate, something happened.
Right.
And it was turning point for me of like, it's like, do you have what it takes to do this job, or do you not?
Right.
And, not that it was like all about that, but it helped me start with a perspective of humility and understanding I'm not going to be perfect at this job.
Right.
I can't control what other people are doing. I can't control everything or anything.
Yeah.
And I have had to remind myself of that every day in this job.
Yeah.
I can't control what I can't control.
I'd say that's one of my biggest, it's one of the biggest frustrations about this job is just land doesn't perk, and now you're toast. The house,
doesn't appraise.
Doesn't appraise. It's just like
cool.
So many things out of your control.
Another price reduction. Another week on market.
Yeah, the buyer decides to buy a new car before closing, and now can't apply or can't obtain a loan. And it's
seller's going to pull the listing and rent it. It's like, okay, I didn't just spend $3,000 on staging.
Right.
Yeah, I get it.
But I'd say, like, for me, that's probably the most frustrating part of the job is everything. if I fail because of what I've done, I can live with that. Or if I succeed because of what I've done, all the better. But it's the wait.
I'm allowed to drink water on this thing.
No. I'm just kidding.
I'm sorry. I'm like reaching down. Like, what am I gonna pull from the bag? Yeah.
But yeah, like it's just the stuff out of your control that drives me nuts. But there's not, like you said, you just kind of, you got to embrace it because there's not much you can do about it. Yeah. There's nothing you can do about it.
Yeah.
So anyway, that's awesome, dude. So the last 10 years, you knew that you were gonna kill it and thrive. Have you ever? Let me ask you this. Maybe not kill it.
I mean, I didn't know. But ask me what you were gonna ask.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you ever think about quitting?
Yes.
Yeah? Is there a specific moment you think of?
Every year.
Yeah. It's always that one. It's the one deal out of your control. You're like, screw this, I'm done.
It's every season where you're like, is this the job? It's like Indeed.com.
Yeah.
No, I mean, all jokes aside, I think about quitting probably once a year, only because life is not linear. It's not this... I mean, time is linear, right? But like life, things just happen. And clients, as wonderful as they are, and I'll say this, like all of my clients are phenomenal people. I love working with everybody. There's maybe like 2 or 3 that I can genuinely say like, yeah,
I wouldn't do that again.
I wouldn't do that again. That was fine. But the way that we treat each other in this business, agent to agent, but also agent to client, matters. And I value the way you treat me, and I will treat you with the same level of integrity and respect and dignity. And so sometimes it's hard to find that balance. But anyway, no, there are seasons where, man, it's like the kids are going through something, or life in marriage is not rocky, but difficult, right?
Yeah.
And we've got challenges, and we've got financial stresses, and we've got family stresses. And then you have, the market itself. It ebbs and flows. You've got seasons of feast, and then seasons of famine, and then seasons of drought, and seasons of rain. And it's just, it's never really consistent.
Yeah.
And I think that lack of consistency can wear on somebody and cause burnout and cause lethargy and complacency. And, if you're not always on your toes, you could get burned, right? You can have, problems arise that you never dreamed or imagined that would arise. And then you don't really know how to deal with it because you never dealt with it before.
Right.
And so you're kind of having to think out of left field. And so there's just a lot of that, that change, right, over time that can make one consider, okay, is this really what I thought it was going to be? And yeah, I mean, I think that's normal for everybody. I think every realtor I've worked with or talked to has those seasons of, oh man, like, what is this? And this is hard. And then there's some that, for them, it's just like second nature. It's easy. The deals just fall into their lap. They have a marketing machine, and, they're doing, millions of dollars in production.
Right.
And you're like, wow, that's crazy.
Yeah.
But, I think about maybe once a year of like, man, is this really where I need to be? There's probably one time, though, in the last 10 years where I seriously considered a new life, a new career. And that was, I want to say it was probably year 8 when my mom was diagnosed with cancer. And I thought about it not because of a personal, like, oh, this is a hard job. I thought of it because, is this the type of job that I need to be in during this season of my life?
Yeah. Right.
We had just we were about to have our 3rd kid, and my mom was sick with a terminal illness that had no prognosis apart from death. And it was scary. It was emotionally challenging. It was spiritually challenging, and I'm a man of faith, and my faith was rocked during that time. And, man, I just wanted to spend time with her. Yeah. I just wanted to relish in that mother and son bond. And Sorry, I get a little choked up talking about it,
Yeah.
but I wanted to be there for her, but I wanted to help save her.
Yeah.
And I wanted to see healing, and my mom experience healing through this process, and whatever it took, right? And so I stepped away from the grind, the hustle, right?
Yeah.
Like get in there and work your CRM and read a podcast listen to a podcast, read a book,
Yeah.
Go to coaching once a week, like, write 5 handwritten thank you letters. Like I just stopped doing all of that. Sorry, I'm like hitting this thing. I stopped doing everything. And I said, God, just if this is where I need to be, sustain that aspect of my life,
Yeah.
I'm going to focus on mom.
Yeah.
And I didn't 100% like shift gears. I obviously had to keep some things going. Right. I had to serve my clients with a smile. I had to show up to the closing table. I had to go to the inspections. But man, if I had time and if there was some margin, it was that I was with my mom.
Yeah.
And I did what I could to drop everything, whether it be father responsibilities, husband responsibilities, real estate agent responsibilities, coworker responsibilities, and be there to, at least like sit with her, if she was going through treatment, or take her to the doctor, and my dad would help too. And it was a family effort. So it wasn't just like me, right?
Yeah,
Whereas like my mom said, Steven, it's all up to you now. I think if anything, she would encourage me to go back to work and, focus on building my family and my career. And, but that, I think at the onset of her disease, of that horrific diagnosis, I considered deeply, hey, this isn't for me right now.
Yeah.
If this job requires so much of my time and my energy and my skill, then I'm gonna walk away from it.
Yeah.
And I surrendered it in that moment. And I remember praying and saying, hey, this is on the table for sacrifice, and I'm offering it. And what happened was God wouldn't let me sacrifice it. He said, thank you. I appreciate it. I'm not asking you for that. I'm asking you for something else. And that something else was a sacrifice of idolatry. And meaning I had taken my job and money and made it an idol, and I had worshipped it. And God was saying, no, take that off the table and focus on me.
Yeah.
And he commands that. And I'm not making this a spiritual podcast at all, but I'm not taking that that exit, but it's so ingrained in my life.
Yeah.
And that experience and that awakening for me was, despite what was going on with my mom, right? Despite cancer, despite all of that, God was still proving his faithfulness and his love for me and my family and my mother, who loved him and followed him deeply, even to the knowledge that she was going to pass away.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, that experience, watching my mother suffer, but also watching her grow in her faith, was exactly what I needed in that time to remind me that life isn't about the next deal. Mm-hmm. It's not about the next client. It's not about even putting on the suit and looking the part and getting the listing. I may walk away today without that listing, and I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
I'm completely okay with that, because God will provide no matter what.
Right.
So anyway, that was a lot. I just dumped it on you.
I
don't even remember the first question.
I don't either, man. What was your mother's name?
Cindy.
Sydney.
Yeah, Cynthia Squires. She was 61 when she passed, and she had pancreatic cancer. Horrific disease. Lots of recent developments in that treatment.
Yeah.
I'll have to send you some resources there. It's groundbreaking, like what we're hearing now from the studies that man, it's just hard, because it's like, if only 2 years earlier she could have probably benefited. But it's wild to hear the stories that come from those who suffer with that specific illness. Yeah. But yeah.
Was your mom always a big supporter of your career?
No.
No?
And I say that confidently. My mother she was an incredible woman.
Yeah.
She was very critical in a good way.
Yeah.
And a lot of times we butt heads on a lot of different things. But we also we agreed on and celebrated real estate. And it was a hobby of ours. It started out as a hobby, right? Like she would be in high school, she'd be watching HGTV, and I'd just walk into the room and I'd sit down next to her, and I'm like, man, this is kind of interesting watching these people on TV like showing property and all of that. And but she wasn't supportive of my career because, you know, I don't think she truly fully trusted real estate agents. And I see where she's coming from, right? Like the real estate agent of the 70s and the 80s when she was growing up and like young, she probably didn't get the greatest experience, but also, I mean, they served some very specific purposes, right? Because you couldn't really access the MLS digitally. It was all a book.
Right,
and, you had to go get the key from the office and they had to drive around. I'm not saying there was less value in realtors of that era.
Yeah.
I'm just saying that I think it was harder to establish trust quickly with clients in that era because technology wasn't as prevalent.
Yeah.
And so I think my mom just didn't have a lot of trust in that particular field and saw it through the lens of it's a sales job, it's commission only, it's kind of like a car salesman.
A little sleazy maybe.
It's a little sleazy, a little like of that like, when you meet the agent's there just to seal the deal, right? Versus like get to know you, get to know your needs and understand you. And like kind of how you and I do things where we want to craft a relationship first and then let that guide what property they end up doing or making an offer on or living in.
Yeah.
So for her, it was like like anything but that. Like you could do architecture, you could do design, you could build houses, but like, you're going to sell them. Okay. Good luck. I love you. You know? And as time developed and as she saw what God was doing in me through this career, I think she realized, almost as quickly as I realized I was good at it, she realized that I was meant to do it.
Oh, yeah.
And so it was probably like within the first couple of years, she was like, okay, I see this.
Yeah.
I see this. And then so much so that she entrusted me to sell their house that I lived in for many years in Cary. And they moved briefly to the beach for like 2 years. And I think they were like, okay, this is not, we thought we glamorized this, like, let's retire at the coast. Let's get a pool and let's be at the coast. And this is great. And I think they both realized that, community, we're missing that element. And we missed the community that we left. And so they went back to Cary, which in retrospect was, from a medical standpoint, really beneficial for my mother to get really good care at Duke. And those doctors were incredible, by the way. But they, she was able to, she passed away in her home through care of hospice. But all of that would have been difficult to do in that location. So we saw God's hand moving through it. And it also was restorative for her in her belief to go through some of those trials of like moving, because moving is very tumultuous. And, I think even in their marriage, my father and my mother were able to like really grow closer through the hardships of moving, but then of course the hardship of her diagnosis. But yes, I think my dad always supported my career. I don't know if he does to this day. I think he does.
What did he always do? Like,
he's always been a salesman.
Okay.
He sells transportation.
Okay.
Yep. Which is, kind of, I don't know anything about it.
Right.
Really, but he's really good at what he does. And so I think he sees the sales component of what I do, and I think he celebrates that and he asks questions about it. But you and I both know it's really not a sales gig.
Right.
I mean, this is like, if anything, it's a therapy gig. Like really. Dude. I mean, we are, I don't know about you, if you've ever had,
like trauma dumps on you?
Trauma where it's like, I was talking to Gladys last week and I can't get over, my
100%.
son moving to San Francisco. And you're like, okay, well, let's talk about the CMA that I ran for you earlier.
Right.
Can we get back to the numbers? It's like, okay,
I do a lot of judicial sales. And,
okay. I didn't know that.
Yeah. And so I have to go in and get photos and the people are getting removed from their home. And they have to sell it, and it's it's never a pleasant introduction
I bet not.
to them. So
you're like the repossession guy. Like you're like lizard lick
dude, and I try to be like,
all right.
I try to be as nice. I'll bring them donuts and like Dunkin' or whatever, just to like
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. Here's some donuts.
Yeah.
Thanks for your house.
I know that's horrible, but I mean, I get it. There's got to be a person that does that.
Yeah. And but most of those situations, most of the time, it's when a boyfriend girlfriend buy a house.
Yeah.
That's where you're gonna have issues. So boyfriend girlfriend buy it. They're joint tenants, and then something happens,
sure.
cheats, hits you, whatever. Court says sell the house, and whoever I deal with tells me why that person that they were living with is the devil.
Right.
And
you should not trust what they say.
Right.
At all.
And I'm sitting here like,
I get that. Yeah.
I just want to get these photos done. And the only reason I'm here is because I don't want the photographer to have to deal with what I'm dealing with at this moment.
Right.
But that being said, like you said, it's just like it's the job,
Yeah. I get it.
Even besides the sales aspect. So what are you doing today? What's one thing you're doing today practically that is working for you?
That's you told me you were going to ask that question and I forgot. Sorry. Your secret's revealed. Practically, I think it's there's a lot of advice out there.
Yeah. In your defense, I asked you 5 seconds before we stepped into into the conference.
Well, but the answer is pretty straightforward, but I'm going to build up to it because that's who I am. I'm a storyteller.
Yeah. You're a good storyteller, by the way.
Well, thank you.
I'm very entertained.
I'm trying to get better. I'm trying to apply that to my business in a few ways, and that's another episode, I'm sure. But I'm actually working on something right now for a listing, which has been a very challenging sell. And I'm telling the story of the listing, and it's like a really cool historical thing. But anywho, I just said anywho. Like I'm that kind of person. I'm sorry. Sorry, everybody. That is not me. I actually don't say that. Anywho. Oh gosh. No, something that works. There's a lot of advice out there, right? And I think it's easy for me to get overwhelmed with like, okay, here are the 10 things you have to do every morning, right? It's like, get up, brush your teeth, take a shower, go for a 20-mile run, and then, do 20 push-ups and like pray with your kids and feed them. And then, now you have to like pray with your wife and like go through this and do that. And these are the 5 steps for success in business, 20 steps for success in marriage, 15 steps for success as a parent. Like there's all of these things that I feel like they cloud our judgment and they cloud our ability to say, okay, well, what are the one or two things that really work? Yeah. And what are the one or two things that I can do practically that are going to work? And for me in this business, it's been a morning routine of just mindset change, renewal of mind, right? Okay. It's a scripture. It's a verse in the Bible. I don't remember what it is, which is horrible, but renewing of your mind, right? That every morning, not like looking in the mirror and saying, you can do this, but like reminding myself, again, my position, there's virtually nothing we can change in real estate. Yeah. Virtually nothing. There's things that we can influence, right? There's things that we can do. There's action items we can take to help serve our clients well. It's marketing. It's very little things that have a small impact. And like, does the house ultimately sell, or does the client ultimately buy a property or not? Or can they even qualify to buy? Right? Like these are things like we just can't control. Yeah. But reminding yourself in the morning through just quietness and meditation and prayer and like kind of refocusing your mind on there's little you can do to change other people. So focus on the mindset of glass half full. This is doable. You're good at what you do. There's people want to hire you. There's a reason why people hire you, and just serve your clients really well above yourself. And don't do it for the money. Don't do it for the schedule because the schedule is junk. I almost cussed. The schedule is junk. It's hard to achieve what others call a work-life balance in real estate. I've heard it called on another podcast, which I won't drop right now, but I've heard it called like a work-life, not a balance per se. It's more like a what is it? Now I'm blanking on it for whatever reason. It's like this.
Could probably the
sage
podcast
moment.
suck, dude. No, I'm just
Yeah,
kidding.
no, it's a great podcast. No, it's more like a work-life scale, not a scale. It's like a balance. I'll get back to it in a minute.
Yeah.
But you cannot balance it properly. You can never really achieve like this type of balance. You can really only do what you can throughout the day. And you can prioritize and you can focus, but balancing is very difficult.
Yeah.
Because you have competing priorities in life.
Right.
Family is always first, at least for me. Clients, you want to serve them above yourself, and you want to serve them as if they are family. And that's hard. That's hard to do when you actually have a family that you want to support.
Yeah.
But yeah, it'll come to me later.
No, that's
I'll
great.
get in my car. I'm like, dang it, it was that. But yeah, work-life balance, very difficult, but mindset. Every morning, if I just shift my mindset to positive, to reminding myself why I'm in this business to begin with, to like a can-do attitude, to achieving, I think that really goes a long way for me.
Yeah.
And it just sets the tone for the day. Because if you start out the day with just like, oh man, like I've got all these fires to put out today, and like you're dealing with clients that forget about the boundaries that you set for them, right? Like those types of activities can really throw you off.
Yeah.
But ultimately, you just have to remind yourself, like, hey, there's just very little I can control.
Yeah.
Not everything is critical or important. It's going to be okay. Breathe. Take it one step at a time. So,
is there boundaries that you set up with your clients from the get-go?
Yeah, I try to.
Like what?
A lot of them focus around time.
Okay.
Because time is, I've heard it say time is not money, and then I've heard it say time is money. I believe time is money.
Right.
Right. But it's a different type of currency. It's not like the money that, we exchange for goods and services. It is a currency that we don't know how much we have. Right. And I think back to, my perspective and how it changed a lot on death and life and time spent well with people, not just your family, but others like clients. And so I set a lot of boundary on time, and I make people know that, hey, like I want to respect your time. I will respect your time.
Right.
I need you to respect mine, right? I need you to respect the boundaries of time that I've set. Texting me at 6:49 in the morning, that's a little bit of a violation. It may be top of mind for you at that moment, but it's a violation of my boundary that I've set. And so you can text me at 7:59. That's fine. That's 8 o'clock. Right. Like I tell my clients 8 a.m. to 7 p.m. That's the window of green light.
Yeah.
If you want
I'm
to
open for business.
shoot me a text.
Yeah.
I'll respond within that window.
Yeah.
Right. And sometimes it's as easy as just like, hey, you received the text, you're on Do Not Disturb, maybe, setting that up in your phone just so you don't even see the text come through.
Right.
That's what I've had to do recently, just so that way I'm not burdened by, the feeling of, oh man, it's 6:49 and I just got done with a workout. I need to respond to this client right now. I understand that, but there's got to be a balance there from a respect standpoint. So time is a big one.
Yeah.
But also being available, trying to be available for my clients, but letting them know, hey, if you're not available between 8 a.m. and 5 p.m. and I'm not available between 6 and 7 p.m., then we have a window to work with together. Right. Like there's 1 hour window. We'll just honor it and we'll just focus on it. Yep. Right? Yep. Same with the weekends. I'm appointment only on the weekends. And what that means is not I'm appointment only when and if you decide you want to see a house in that moment. Right. You do have to make the appointment. Yeah. So call me on Friday and say, hey, I think I'm going to want to see 3 houses on Saturday. That's fine. Great. But don't call me Saturday at 12 and say, in 13 minutes, I need to see 5 properties. Right. Not possible. Yeah. Right. Yeah, because I've set boundaries. Sundays, I try to keep as Sabbath. Yep. Not always possible. Right. Given certain clients' agendas and timeframes. If a client is only available on a Sunday, I will accommodate. Right. But I make it known up front, hey, I try to keep Sundays sacred, one for Sabbath, but also for my family. Yeah. I've got 3 daughters at home, 7, 5, and 18 months. And It's a lot.
Yeah.
And I want to give them time with their dad. That isn't just a fragmented 20 minutes on a Tuesday.
Yeah.
But, full attention 2-3 hours at the pool.
Right.
2 or 3 hours at, the park.
Yeah.
Dad's here. I'm engaged. I'm present. My phone's off.
Yeah.
That kind of thing. So time is a big one for me with clients.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Starting out, you didn't have any kids, right? You just got married.
Yeah.
So you probably were 3 years in before you had your first daughter.
Yeah, I was 3 years in. Our first daughter was born in 2019.
Okay.
So 3 years. Yep.
Oh, look at that. Good math.
You did it.
Has your business shifted at all since having kids?
Totally.
How?
Totally. Getting the honorable title of parent changes your life in every way conceivable. Every way.
Yeah.
It changes how you interact with your friends. It changes how you interact with your family. It changes how you interact with your wife. It changes how you interact with your coworkers and your clients. And especially at work, two things change at work. One is your motivation. Right? Motivation is like, instead of me I want to invest one day and I want to build a 401k and I want to buy a bigger house or a nicer car, that completely melts away. And then you're suddenly thinking, how can I make the lives of these children not super comfortable, because you want them to kind of have character is built through hardship, right? So you kind of want them not okay, we're gonna have to scrape by for a meal tonight.
Yeah.
But you want to provide for them, but serve them in a way that's hey, I want you to make sure you know that your parents are here for you and we're gonna support you, and I want to give them all the opportunity I can to have a wonderful life. Yeah. And so and a lot of times that does mean money. Let's be real. We need to make money to help them. And so when my first was born, that first thing shifted. That motivation shifted dramatically to, I want to do this for her. Yeah. I want to do this for them. And after I got married, I was I got into real estate after I got married. So I was already thinking of us, a we mentality, but now it's an our collective family mentality. Yes. And over the years, as we added on kids, and added on thus expenses, that motivation grew. But the other thing that also changed dramatically was time, right? Kind of going back to my boundary, that time spent with my children, with my wife, in the home, having my face seen in the house, that changed pretty significantly for me, because I'm a big office guy. I love going to the office and being at the office. Me too. Sometimes I do it because I have to. Right. Other times I do it just because I just want to see other agents and engage. I'm a people person. Right? Yeah, for sure. I don't want to be the type of agent that operates in a silo. You have to have community in this job. Yeah. But I felt like I needed to shift gears and be more in the home. Yeah. That way, when Kelly was home with the kids, I could just, see them and be with them. There are days where that's impossible, though, where it's there's just so much going on. Yeah. And I need to focus. And so I'll go to the office. But time spent at home, time spent with them. And so that forced me to change, one, how I communicate with my clients, how often I communicate, and when I communicate. So how often, and when. Yeah. Right. That's great. And that, I think, doing that and not letting your clients feel the change, right? And not letting them feel like, oh, I'm second class to them, or I'm not, or Steven doesn't care about me. That I had to really be delicate with, because I wanted to make some hey, you guys are still a priority, but I've got these other priorities that are kind of paramount to that. So if my wife calls me and says, kid's sick, you need to go pick him up. Hey, I know we have 3 more houses to see, but I'm not going to be able to do that today. But let me get you a coworker that can help you and take over for me while I'm doing that. And I've done that before. Yeah. So
because I was licensed for 4 years before we got married. In 2022, we got married, and it was when it was just us. It was just whenever you need me, boom, I'm ready. Yeah. And now we have a 1-year-old, and it's well, you can go do it tomorrow, right? Or we can go do it whenever. But it's more okay, this is not just I'm gonna go run at your beck and call whenever, because I just can't. I just can't.
Well, and I feel too, and I was thinking about this earlier. like the idea or the stigma that, you're a real estate agent, in order to be deemed like a good agent, needs to be available all the time.
Yeah.
That's just not,
Yeah.
that's not practical. And
Yeah.
like, I will tell you this, if you're listening, I'm sorry, I'm not gonna steal clients from other agents, but I think like if your agent's the type that just like runs themselves into the ground all the time, and they have no other outside responsibilities, and their life is real estate, that's fine. But like, their burnout is coming.
Yeah.
Burnout's coming.
Yeah.
Like whether they are going to experience it now or in 5 years or 10 years, burnout is going to happen. It happens to everyone. We are not immune to burnout, right? I think kids and family and all that, like, it can contribute to like a quicker burnout, especially if you don't prioritize correctly or like you can't time block really well. It's really like kind of going back to that work-life balance. Like, it's not work-life. Work and life, here's coming back to me now.
Let's go.
Work and life are meant to work in tandem together, right? There's no separation of work and life, right? Work is life and life is work. You do your work as part of your life. So balancing them out, it's not like there's one on one side of the scale and one on the other side of the scale.
Yeah.
It is a commingling of funds. It is a commingling of the experience of work and life. So it's more like you're prioritizing things. You are shifting your schedule around. You are time blocking. You are making sure that, okay, I got to pick up the kids at 2, but I have to show a house at 3.
Yeah.
How am I going to make that work? Right. So going back to that, like with the agent, like, and listen, there was a time when I was that agent, right? I was that like, I'm available 7 a to 7 p.m. or no, 7 a.m. to 6:59 a.m. Like, you can call me all hours of the
Open
day.
24 hours.
Yeah, I'll show a house during church on a Sunday. Like, whatever you want, man, I'm in there. And there's a market for that.
Yeah.
No doubt, right? There are clients out there though, and I will just say, like, if you're house hunting, like, just know that these are real people who have real skill and real talent that can really suffer burnout if you run them into the ground. And the person who pays for burnout isn't the agent.
Right.
It's the client.
Yeah. Oh, big time.
You
for
pay
sure.
big time.
Yeah.
If you are a client, if you are a house hunter or you are a listing or a seller, if your agent burns out while they're working with you and they crash hard, you suffer the consequences of that.
Yeah, big time.
And there's a lot of ways that look, and I'll let you figure that out yourself.
Yeah.
But like, I can tell you, like, I've had times and moments of burnout.
Yeah.
And that's, again, probably a whole other episode. But there's been seasons of burnout where I have to tap back into what I know to be true about myself, about my business, and also just reshift my focus and my mindset.
Yeah.
Right? Like, this is for your kids. This is for my wife. This is for my family. This isn't for me.
Right.
This isn't for Steven.
Yeah.
This isn't to blow up my ego. I don't need to sell 500 houses this year.
Right.
To be a great agent.
Right.
I can sell, 15 to 20 houses a year, which I always do, which I try to do. That's my goal every year. It doesn't really go up. Some agents have like, okay, next year I'm going to sell 10% more.
Right.
I'm like, if I can stay in the sweet spot, that is sufficient.
Yeah.
For my business and for my needs. And you know what? There's going to be years where I don't sell as much.
Yep.
There's going to be years where I sell more than I could ever ask or imagine.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah.
But I have to be content with that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's in the future for you?
I
know we're
I'm sorry.
we're wrapping up. No, you're fine.
We got to wrap up just because I got this appointment.
Yeah.
May get the listing, may not. Again,
yeah.
If I get it, that's amazing. Praise God.
Yeah.
If not, it's okay.
Yeah.
The future. If I could had a crystal ball, right?
Yeah.
We'd all be very successful.
That's right.
I really love this job.
Okay,
I really like this job. I
Yeah.
love working with people. I love serving people. Broker Steven is here for the foreseeable future. I don't know if that means, adding on to my quiver, right? My set of services that I offer clients. Like, I've started kind of dabbling in property management a little bit.
Yeah.
I own 2 rental properties. One's a short-term, one's a long-term rental. And that, again, is another topic, but I get a lot of life out of serving people in that capacity where I feel equipped and able and skilled in property management.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of curious about that segment of the real estate industry that I haven't yet explored.
Right.
Commercial doesn't interest me. Not saying that I would never do it. I just don't know if it's my thing.
Yeah.
do I expand my rental property, portfolio in the future? Maybe.
Yeah.
I'd always
there's
said,
no bad ideas on this podcast.
there really aren't. No, I mean, I think I love the wheelhouse of real estate. Like I enjoy the real estate realm. I'm kind of a nerd. Like I love numbers.
Yeah.
I don't love them as much as some other people do. So maybe nothing specific, like maybe not the economics route.
Right.
I like law. I like legal discussion. I talked to my wife at one point about going to law school.
Yeah.
At 40.
That's dope.
Which is like whatever, right?
Yeah.
Like, what does that look like, right?
Yeah.
Do I go to law school and then never use the degree?
Right.
Do I go to law school and become a real estate attorney and focus only on that for that segment of my life? Do I become a stay-at-home dad? Like there's a million different things we can do. And I'm very blessed with a very broad skill set.
Yeah.
But broker Steven, I think I'm good at what I do.
Yeah.
Right? I think my clients agree. Some do.
Yeah.
Some maybe like he's the worst, which is fine. And then like again, you're not going to please everybody.
Yeah.
Like you can never please everybody.
Yeah.
But you can certainly try your best. Right?
What about the team itself for Umstead and Oak? Do you want to expand? Do you want to just keep it the way it is, or what?
I don't know. Glenn and I briefly tried to expand back in 2024. That was a weird season for both of us, just with everything going on with my mother at the time, who passed away last year. And really just like we tried to do too much too quickly, I think.
Yeah.
Like we went from 0 to 60 pretty quickly.
Yeah.
And it was good. It was a good experience, but I felt like there's a few things we could have done differently. The brand and the team, Umstead and Oak, will remain, I think, for the foreseeable future. What that looks like operationally, I think we're going to keep it pretty tight, pretty small for now.
Yeah.
I would love to eventually bring on some veteran agents who like the brand, who want to run with the brand, who appreciate what we're trying to achieve as a brand. And that's, again, another topic, right? Because, real estate agents are a dime a dozen, right? Yep. We all do the same work, but it's like, how do we do that work? And what type of broker are we? And how do we build trust with our clients? Like, those are the differentiating factors.
Yeah.
I feel like kind of give people the business or they don't.
Yeah.
And so, I think those are the two routes we might be taking. We might expand into property management, as like a facet,
right?
As I'm talking through it, right?
Yeah.
But I don't know. But I think for now, it's steady as she goes.
Yeah.
Keep the helm,
that's right,
steady, and try not to hit any icebergs along the way.
That's right. That's right. What did you think of the coffee, man? Scale of 1 to 10. Ooh. 10 being the best cup of coffee you've ever had, like a Costa Rican coffee. 1 being the worst cup of coffee you ever had.
I'm gonna go with a 7.
Okay.
Because, and I'll say why. I'm
not the biggest fan, but you can continue.
I think it was very good. I think it had a good caffeine hit, which I liked. I liked that it didn't leave the palate and dry you out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I didn't feel like, oh, I'm so thirsty. Like usually I'd be drinking a ton of water right after coffee.
Okay.
But right, I've only had 1 sip. So I'm like, okay. And I can talk like this. So I'm like, cool. I do think it could be better on the the taste palette. Like I just caramel and milk chocolate is great, but like I need something a little bit more bitter.
Yeah.
Maybe something sharper. Maybe something fruitier. I don't know.
Yeah, that's a good way to describe it. Something sharper. Maybe I'm gonna give it like a 6.3.
Yeah.
It wasn't my favorite.
Yeah. I'm 7.0 straight up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Straight up, dude. That's why I had to put a 0.3 in front of it so you wouldn't do that.
Yeah, no, I'm sorry. I had to do it. My daughter does it. And it's funny because it's like so out of style right now.
Yeah. Oh, it's so out of style.
It's so out of style.
Yeah.
But I'm an older millennial, maybe mid-level millennial where, 1980s, mid-1980s is when I was born. So it's like, I was here when the internet started, but I was also here now, like using AI. So
right,
it's like,
right.
I have to know all the things and iterate all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And so I pick and choose. Like all millennials my age, we tend to pick and choose what we latch onto, but it's usually whatever our kids are doing that we figure out. But anyway, man, Steven, thanks for coming on, man, dude.
Man, I appreciate it, dude. I love your story. It's a great episode.
Yeah, hopefully I didn't talk too much, but no, I appreciate you having me on the cast, and hopefully there'll be an opportunity for next time.
Yeah, for sure, man. Absolutely. Bye, everybody.